So, with the change to the Jubilee event, well, many of you may have been experiencing a lot of disappointment with the foreign merchant. They changed it so it's an heroic encounter, and, well, in order to gain credit for that heroic encounter, it's not very easy. You need to be doing quite a lot of damage and killing quite a lot of enemies within the area of the foreign merchant. That area being this gold circle. And if I'm a healer, I'm not gonna gain any benefit by healing my allies. I have to gain credit by dealing damage. I have to. And you have to deal damage while they're within this area, the gold area, and while the merchant is feared. I may not even get credit from what I just did there. I I've been here, done like maybe 20 runs or so, and got nothing. Absolutely no completion of these heroics. So I'm not sure, they kind of fecked it over. It's not really working anymore, how it did at least. And so getting the actual bounties from the foreign merchant is a lot more of a struggle. You want to be in a zone with not many people. Good luck with that when everybody's trying to be here. Otherwise you end up, yeah, no credit and no rewards. We get to the end, foreign merchant's done, managed to get there, and we've completed keeping the merchant alive. And yeah, nothing. You saw I done some damage, I killed some enemies, and nothing. So it's kind of ridiculous. So what you need to do now is always go and just do your quests instead. Pick up these quests here, like recover rare reagents within the Icespire Peak, or go over to collect lost pages within Protector's Enclave. And those quests you'll find in your journal. I highly recommend Xing out every single quest other than the ones you're picking up from him, or it can be hard to see which ones you get. It might just prioritize different ones. It doesn't even show up here. Okay, here it is. And it'll give us 3 bounties. And you just farm those quests over and over, and that's what you're going to have to do, unless they change the merchant somewhere or another. I'll keep you guys posted. But the Jubilee is active, and with that they always come out with Zen Market Sales. New things on the Zen Market to spend our Zen on. They come out with a pretty decent discount as well. We can see we have 30% off everything here. And what you will find new here is a bunch of different packs. You go to like mounts and you can pick up the collector packs. You have epic, rare, and uncommon. In the epic one, you can pick up like your silverback bear, your high forest bear. It's all just fashion stuff. I wouldn't worry about it. I personally wouldn't buy it. But if you wanted to buy any of the mounts, well, the option's here and you'll get some mount upgrade tokens with it. You can choose then one of the mounts that they'll give you. Now, otherwise, you can get the rare one. Again, similar story, but these mounts are just, yeah. Some of them you can get from your auction house. Others are actually pretty expensive, but beware. These are all account bound. You will not be selling these. But those are some, yeah, pretty unique mounts that have not been there in a while. And then some green ones here as well. I mean, these ones are a good bit more common. Glorious Whirlwind is actually pretty unique. It came from a Redeemed Citadel with the Autumn Stag and then a Tribal Polar Bear. Yeah, some of these cosmetic mounts are pretty unique. You can get the Confetti Machination with a whopping 2,800 Zen. This is the mount from last year. Its power is not really great and it's only 3 slots. Same with all of these other returned mounts. They're all just 3 slot mounts. You're not going to be putting them into your stable to get 4 insignia slots, so they're not ideal. You'll just be getting them for cosmetics. For the companions, they have the same collector's packs. There's the epic version again. You just get the Cunning Mimic, Fiora, Cockatrice, Book Imp, Icosahedron Ironstone, and a bunch of companion upgrade tokens. Nothing too special here either. Then with the green pack, you're getting like the Intellect Devourer, Armadoric Wolf, Ionstone of Radiance, Mystigarg, or Staldorf. All again, you can get those from the auction house for not much. And it misses the rare pack here, the blue one. I'm not sure why, but yeah. Otherwise, Yeah, 30% off everything here. The only other sales we have is within supplies where you can get a discounted coal moat. It'll be significantly cheaper than the others. You can see the normal cost at 30% off discount is 700 Zen. Here you could get it for 525. Otherwise, all your shards have returned. In order to get your collars upgraded, you need a lot of shards. If you want to get like a legendary collar over to Mythic, you need 100 of those shards. If you want to get a purple one to legendary, you need 50 shards. So you need a lot. And they're selling them like 50 shards for over 6,000 Zen. Not really worth it when you consider that the cost of shards has actually been going somewhat down. We'll see what happens next module when the requirement to get freaking legendary collars is needed to progress past your fourth step of the hero's path adventure. You need legendary collars to get past the arduous ascent. I hope they will still change that, but I wouldn't count on it. And otherwise, you can buy some event currency here as well, like figurines, but I wouldn't go for any of that. And if you haven't noticed, one of the best in slot mounts for its combat power has returned to the Wondrous Bazaar, the Eclipse Lion. It is still one of the 4 best mounts to use in a trial for your supports. And even in a dungeon, it's one of the best. It's the Swarm and this that are the best ones to have on your healers and tanks. So if you ever plan on playing a healer or a tank, highly recommend picking it up. I don't think they'll ever make it cheaper than, 2.25 million. That is again with a full VIP 12 discount. Now I personally am going to spend my Zen just to update my VIP. Take advantage of this 30% discount and get a few more 6 months more of VIP. I have managed to get some of my Astral Diamonds exchanged to Zen, so we can go right ahead and do that, especially since my VIP will be running out in 90 days. And otherwise, I will go ahead and I will purchase the premium pass of this battle pass. And the main reason I'm doing it is to get Minsk account-wide, because on top of getting a Minsk account-wide, I am getting a Mythic bag of holding, I am getting a coal moat here and another coal moat here. So I'm basically getting Minsk account-wide for, pretty cheap. Maybe if I consider the coal moats at only 500 Zen, then I would get basically Minsk for the value of 750 Zen, which is decent. And that's the Jubilee. To be honest, in my opinion, it's a little underwhelming. I would have liked to see them come out with the Mythic Collar Choice Pack again on the Zen Market, where they sold that for like 8,000 Zen. That's where I got one of my Mythic Collars. Like 8,000 Zen for a Mythic Collar, to be honest, is a decent deal, especially when you consider they want to sell shards for just 50 of them for like over 6,000 Zen, and you need 100 for a Mythic Collar. Anyway, the Jubilee event is a bit screwed over, to be honest, compared to previous years. You used to be able to follow the merchant and you'd always get credit. If you're a tank or a healer, it wasn't any trouble. Now, if I'm trying to do this on my paladin and I can't compete as much with dealing damage against enemies, then I'm just getting not any credit. You saw there at the beginning of the video, I was dealing damage to enemies and I was getting nothing. So it's kind of pointless to do this foreign merchant thing at all. The only way I see it could be fixed is either lower the requirements of the heroic encounter that you maybe only have to do 1 point of damage, or you can just heal allies within the area, or take a hit from an enemy within the area. And you could make it so that you can be anywhere within the heroic encounter zone, not next to the foreign merchant. That way there are plenty of ad spawns around and you could just kill a random group that's within the area of the heroic encounter. We wait a few seconds here and you'll see it. It's a big ellipse here. Anywhere within this heroic encounter, you should be able to get credit towards the heroic encounter by killing enemies, not by just having to be adjacent to the bounty guy. And otherwise, right now, if you want to be farming this event and getting as many of those protectors bounties as you need to get the renown and so on, then you're gonna just have to be farming quests. It's very disappointing. When you get over 100 of these bounties opened, you will start getting like 100 renown per bounty box, so it gets pretty good to get a ton of renown, but still quite the grind. And without being able to really partake in the foreign merchant trains means you'll just be grinding these repeatable quests from this guy over and over. That renown, you will generally spend it on either getting the new 4-slot mount, which is right here. I'll showcase what Insignia's bonuses you can get from this in just a second, but it costs over 3,000 renown, and otherwise you probably want to be spending your renown on lunch boxes and buying as many of these as you can. The problem is lunch boxes, they will only drop you 4 different pieces of food, and they have a selection of like 11 different foods from there. So every 2 box you might obtain one that you want. Like I want squash soup, I'm only going to get 1 piece of squash soup for every 2 lunch boxes I open. So you're talking about if I want 1 stack of squash soup, I'm going to have to buy 200 lunch boxes. That's 30,000 renown. 30,000! You can probably get that with a decent grind, but with the foreign merchants giving probably no bounties, unless you're some serious sweaty DPS all the time for hours and hours, you're just gonna have to repeat these quests over and over to get like 3 bounties. And our other quest goes to Icefire, also 3 bounties. So I'm pretty disappointed in the event. I hope they fix the foreign merchant before it's too late. But let's just quickly go over the new mount and the insignia bonuses you can get with it. So here we go, here it is. You can get Executioner's Covenant, Lionheart's Preservance, Mender's Covenant, Tactician's Restoration, Gladiator's Guile, and Champion's Return. Just be aware, if you wanted this mount for, let's say, Gladiator's Guile, yeah, you're not getting it with using the preferred insignia. If I was to use the preferred insignia, you end up just getting this bonus, Executioner's Covenant. I'd have to switch this out to something else, and then you'd end up with, yeah, Gladiator's Guile right there. So the only insignia bonus you're getting with the preferred insignia are the ones with the crescent and then Champion's Return. So not Gladiators and not Lionheart's Preservance. So hopefully this was somewhat insightful to you again. Here comes the foreign merchant and lets me see, I'll get whopping nothing. A special thank you to all these channel members for their added support, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.